Oh yes. Doing a little Bible study today. First one. Back on stream. Let's enjoy the ride for a second. Enjoying a little bit of some home-cooked music. Home-cooked music at a home-cooked stream. Let's see, let's move my mic up a jimmy. There we go. This is how I feel when I read the Bible. I feel so... feel captured. It's such a great way. I can't wait to share that today. First time on stream. So that's what we're gonna do. I got a buddy of mine joining me, and yeah, we're gonna get these levels right. Gonna get all this audio shit figured out. Sweet. Awesome. That's great. That's fantastic. Hey, would you look at that? Things seem to work pretty darned well. I just can't really talk directly into the mic, alright? Or we'll clip. We don't want to clip. Gonna hear some organic sounds. But until my buddy joins me, I'm just noodle with Mega Pokemon tier list real quick for a little Jimmy here. Let me know when you're on. Let me know when you're on. Cool. Sweet. Hey everybody, welcome to the Nurses Station. Welcome. Good times. Good times to be had by all. I hope we have a good stream today. I do. I hope it goes well. I hope it's fun. Let's see. Do we have any? Ooh, I found this tune I made the other day. I made it a couple years ago, but I found it today. It's a nice little loop. We're gonna chill on that while we make some. I have some strong opinions. I got a lot of strong opinions actually. And I can't sleep at night unless I contribute to the YouTube noise of having Pokemon opinions. So that's what's going to happen right now for a minute. We need to talk about something. Add row below. This one's just going to be called no. We're just going to call that no. Black that one out. Nope, blacklisted. We don't need this new category. Oh, did I edit D or something? Fuck that. Alright, D. This is how this is gonna work. I also have to find my YouTube chat. That way, if anyone is here, I can say hello. But until then, I'm just gonna talk into the void. Because like I said, I gotta say something about this. No. Next. Let's go. Let's start with the new ones because they're fresh, right? Let's do that. And then we're gonna get to the Bible study. But I am waiting for my bud because he's got the materials. He's got the materials for us, and he's gonna present those materials. We're gonna follow through and we're gonna read Daniel. I do believe that we're gonna be doing Daniel 4. I'm pretty sure that's where we left off. It's been a couple weeks, but you guys don't know that. Brand new ones. This one, no. No explanation needed. No explanation needed. Oh, okay. Here's a tough one. Here's a tough one, guys. This mega extra drill. just, they did my boy so dirty. They gave him this like rusty red overcoating. I don't know, man. I'll put it in D because I guess it's serviceable. We're gonna add a row below. We're gonna call that F. That's gonna be F though, actually, because unfortunately, I love this guy, but I don't love him anymore. Not no more. What about Mega Chokes himself? I think he's silly. He's a funny guy. Uh, we're gonna throw him in C because I don't really have much opinion on him. Here, I'm gonna do this also. Bible study to start at 1 p.m. because that's actually true. Yeah, I'm actually really early. Such as, are we gonna do this cohesively? No, we're gonna just keep picking things at random. We're gonna pick this thing. This is gonna fall into the no. And I don't feel like I need to explain myself. It's just got, maybe that's like a Japanese symbol for fire. Maybe? Let's do this so you guys can see the no. Big no. All right. Greninja. This might be, if to the right is the lowest of the low, then this might have to be my least favorite Mega Pokemon of all of them. And I will elaborate on this one because I can't let this one slide. It's just upside down. This guy's just stretched, but it doesn't look like Starmie. This guy's got a hood, so like he's got clothes now. This guy's eyebrows are unmaintained, but he's just upside down. Like that actually doesn't change much for me. They gave him the Malamar treatment, and while also still giving us this gem. This is a beaut. That's a beaut. Let's look at that one closer, because that one's a beaut. B-E-A-U. Look at that. Look at that. I think that they went soft and they landed it, actually. I think they did. They got the brain design right, brainstem looking. Really good design. Really good one. S tier. S tier. Let's keep finding these new ones. They don't really stand out because I've never played the game. I've played Gen 6, but I've never played these, and I've never played a Legends game. So let's keep it strong by saying Frostlass. We're already developing a theme here, I can tell, because of the slenderness of them. We're liking the slender ones. The silly ones are kind of... then you get the more balanced center of gravity, and then you got the low center of gravity ones. Like the Dodge Magnums of Pokemon. So we're developing a theme. Let's see if we can continue that. Mega Electros, yeah. Did my boy dirty. Gen 5 hate. That's some Gen 5 hate. Bigotry won't stand for. Disappointing, actually. Because it's been said a million times that we're going to do it. Electros. We're just going to... I have to say it out loud or else I'll feel crazy. See, wouldn't that be cool if that was real? But no, we got tube socks. We got tube socks. Just for comparison. Even blurry as hell, it still looks amazing. Look at that. Ooh, right there. Perfect. Even condensed. Even when it is so condensed. Hold on, I gotta find my OBS. I'm doing this on a Steam Deck. So, welcome. Welcome to the Nurse's Station. Oh, they did him so damn dirty. Feel bad for him. This little muddy fish guy. What a great sprite. What a great sprite. What a shame. What a shame. Yeah. They failed me. They failed me in my opinion. But that's okay. Because they did us good with a well done horizontal design. And the color palette on this sold me immediately. Boom. Clefable. Mega Clefable. Not a big fan of the fairy type, but damn, that looks like a fairy type, and it's got more than pink to it. So that's like actually, hey, I can't say I'm disappointed. I'm proud of them. Good for them. Moving on. This has to have been a joke because this was, I remember like spamming YouTube comments for a long time saying, I just want my boy Mega Scrafty. I said dab him up, and they obliged. They straight up did. They gave me what I wanted. And for the sake of the joke, I can't believe how great it is. It is not great at all. But the fact that they gave it to him, I'm gonna die on this hill that Careful Nature, Scrafty with Moxie and Drain Punch. So good. So good. What a great little wall. What a great little wall. Speaking of neat little walls, Mega Phalanx. I like him. I think I like him a little bit more than Clefable. It's a good one. It is. It is a good one. Can we keep finding these new ones still? Mega Emboar. That's probably a D. They just don't know how to do this Pokemon right at all. They just really don't. I think that's a shame. Because it's such a cool concept. Not in the sense that he's just the best firefighting starter. Because he's what it should be. I think Pete Chow said that. He was just like, that's like the sumo, like the fighting. It shouldn't be like quick and nimble. Nah, that would be like electric. No, that's fire. And then we're gonna go with some Drampa probably. Let's get a little bit more tunes on. Sweet. This is another original made by yours truly. I think a link might be in the Bandcamp. If you do like the music, feel free, go check it out. We're also going to have links to the material that we're going to be using for our Bible study today. So, yeah, check that out too. Sorry for the super loud noise. Which one's new in this line? I thought I saw a new one. I didn't. Drampa. I was going to click on Drampa. I like him. Did he change type? Is he electric now? If this was what Drampa was originally, I would have been in. I would have been so in. But he's not, so we're gonna look that up actually. Drampa. Great name. Such a great name. Spoiler. Okay. Still gonna be with a normal dragon. I don't know, man. Electric dragon's been done. Normal dragon's fine. Pretty interesting. Yeah, being immune to ghost is huge. This thing's a nuke. This thing's a slow-moving nuke. And it stayed just as slow. Good, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. I don't even know what generation Drampa's from, to be completely honest. Never been on a playthrough. Nuzlocke, nothing. But if we're going to keep with dragons, this Mega Dragalge's going to stay. Boy. Oh boy. What do we do with that one? I don't know. It might fall into this. It might fall into the silly category. It might fall into the silly category. Because this design is so cool. This is a good design. This is a little... They keep the shape. Where do the head balloons come from? Were they just like easy to model? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I don't think I like him though. It's got a fuck ton of resistances. It's pretty decent. But a dragon being weak to psychic, I don't know. That's like a man being able to reason with the, with that creature atop the pile of gold. It's like that actually. I don't know. It's our testament to man and what we're able to do. Give me some more new ones. More Gen 5 love. Scolipede, Mega Scolipede, up there. More than Malamar because I like him more as a Pokemon. But not more than Frostlass because Frostlass is, again, the epitome of what that Pokemon typing and look should be. So wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely. Keep checking the mic. Mic. Poo. 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 Okay, see, I want to find out where the clips are, and I'm glad there's literally no one here to watch. Makes me feel good to know that I can get these kinks out. Yeah, still can get them kinks out. Yeah. We are going to pull the volume back up a little bit. Because I'm going to try to not talk loud. Figure out a balance. Oh, firing up the PC now, he says. Good. Which way is this turning? Is it turning more to face me? I can't. Alright, that's better. Okay. Back to the Gen 5 love. There we go. I was looking down at these. Chandelure. Again, way better than Malamar. Malamar's probably actually going to go at the top of A tier, bottom S tier. We're going to stick with that. I like Chandelure better as a Pokemon. Ghost types, pretty radical. More original music. Bible study coming up soon. Let's do the thumbs up emoji to him. Send that to him. And then we might finish the tier list here as well. Mega Barbaracle. I like this design a lot. I like this one a lot. I like it way more than Phalanx, actually. He's gonna go down. He's gonna go down a peg because I looked at him with my eyes. This thing does not deserve a Mega Evolution, but it is not terrible. It's not the most terrible of the ones that don't deserve Megas. I'll say that. This one's not new. This one's new. This one's just trash. This is just a hammer. I gotta say that's terrible. I gotta say that's awful. We're gonna go with the Hawlucha. That's the epitome of what a Mega should be. Better Pokemon than Malamar, for sure. I don't like him more than any Gen 5 Pokemon, though. Too much anime presence. Too kitty friendly for me. This little turtleneck having dude, I'm gonna have to give the benefit of the doubt to an A. Because nobody likes Chikorita, and that's just, it might be changing. I'm not up to date on the meta, but I don't really care either. Mega Audino, I love Audino because it's a cute thing. It's gonna be the top of the B because it's just a good thing. Then we're starting to work our way a little bit more retroactive. Mega Gardevoir is like C, like again, like some of this like round shapage, like balanced body type where the head's not super wonk. I think I like that better. Like this thing's low center of gravity did him real dirty. I just don't care about him. I like these Pokemon better, so I don't really care. Mega Mawile looks dope. I'm just gonna throw an old one in there. Keep it fresh. Right around where Phalanx would be, yeah. Let's get rid of these, the last of these. I could not stand this thing whenever it first came around. I'm sorry, this is Terra Flying Dragonite with a circle, blender modeled circle on its tail. This is actually gonna be just a big F tier. It's really close to no though. It's like really close to no. Nobody gives a fuck about Raichu. No one asked for this. I'd rather have a hammer. No one asked for that. 2 versions of Raichu. Okay, yeah. I haven't eaten enough Pikachu yet. Thanks. I haven't had my daily, yearly, my annual dose, my booster shot of Pikachu yet. Mega Swampert's dope. Straight up A. Straight up A. This would absolutely rock that thing's world, though. Put some fertilizer down, you rock that thing's world. Poor guy. Alright, so then we got the rest of these Colosian starters. I never really actually looked at the Chestnut one, but I thought it was a good design. I don't like the Pokemon more than Audino, but do I like the design? Let's find out. Chestnut. Good name. Spiny armor. Oh, what is... Okay. You see how the design philosophy changed even? Look at that. Look at that mouth. Can you see that? It's like a nice little point. And then right here, it's just a... If we put that aside, it keeps the cape, gets the shields. Better design. I think it's a better design. This one's rad though. It's riding brooms, so that beats the hell out of the other one. I'm gonna put that up better than Drampa. Just cause. And then we are gonna... Then we're just gonna sort the rest of these, I think, probably quick, right? We out? Nope, we got Mega Skarmory. He's gold now. Like, he's still good. Is he really good? Is he is he worth it? Oh gosh, what is this? 140 attack? That's not even the same damn thing. That's not even close to the same damn thing. I actually don't know if I like that. Guys, is there anything... No, I don't like it. I don't like it. He's just gold. He's just gold. Did him dirty. Did him real dirty. I think that's all the new ones. I don't really give a shit about ranking the old ones. I think maybe one day I'll do something involving a Gen 3 or Gen 6. Yeah, Omega Ruby or something. But here is the definitive, as nobody asked for it, tier list of the new megas, and that just had to be said. It had to be said. It had to be said. Sorry if I offended anybody that didn't watch. Then I definitely achieved a feat of physics. But we got Sauce here. Hey, yeah, what's good, man? Hello. Cool. I take it you're ready to jump in some Bible study chat. Let's do that. I'll give you a buzz. You have to let me know how all the levels is. What's up, man?
Looking good from my end.
Sweet. Let's where's the actual... All right, now where's your voice at? Say some words.
Some words.
Some words. Okay, we're gonna turn that back up a little bit.
Yes, sir. Oh, we were in chapter 4, right?
I think we are Daniel chapter 4.
Okay, let me look for it.
Yeah, the design philosophy, I'm definitely looking at it. It's like the more horizontal they are, the more I just don't like them. Now I feel better. Now I can rest easy knowing that YouTube knows what I think about something it never asked about. I feel included. It's a good thing.
And the more it knows, the less it doesn't.
It's right. Let's see. Probably gonna end up putting that up here, right? Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll make my camera bigger. Ooh, hey. And then we can pull that down. Do you have the chapter 4? I think I only have chapter 3.
I believe so. I'm like digging through my emails for it. Ooh, man.
Good sleep.
Let's see. True. So this is Romans. We're not doing Romans yet.
I don't know much about Romans at all. I just know that that's a book.
Mm-hmm. Each book definitely has its thing. That's for sure. This is more Romans.
I did see that there was a lot of Romans though on that page, which is great because then when we get there,
Huh. Daniel. Sessions 9 and 10. Chapter 5, Session 8.
I'm just thankful it's a short book.
Real.
These are real deep.
Cool.
Again, I really like the questions though. That's a lot of it.
Let's see. Okay, so it's Daniel 4, 1 through 18.
Okay.
But it's Session 6. So I think this is where we're at.
I think so too.
No, wait, this is James. Oh my gosh.
I want to put on just like a calm music, calm free copyright music in the background. I don't want lo-fi, please no lo-fi, just like piano, please. It's gonna be based on the songs. Go song by song. I really do need to figure out how to get more monitors hooked up. Alright, you said you found session 5?
Yes.
Is that Daniel 3?
Daniel 4. Daniel 3 is a little different.
My session 5 says Daniel 3. Oh,
right.
Geez.
That's the one we did, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we should be on session 6 now.
Okay.
Let me download this, and then I'll send you a copy. Boom, boom.
Biblical scripts presented on the website are available for free use under public domain. I am very glad that that's the part of the website that decided to show right above my head. Good stuff. New to copyright. New to YouTube's land.
Nice.
New to YouTube land. And there we have it. Sweet. Okay. Bible study. There we go. Move.
Bible Gateway. Daniel 4 through 1 through 18.
Cool. All right, so I'm gonna put every question. I'm gonna put the questions up on this side, chat. That should be pretty good for that. Yep, and then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go through these. Because that's what Sauce and I've been doing. My buddy on the Discord here, his name is Sauce. Sauce. You can find him at wherever he lets you know he can find him. But you're going to find him here as
You're
well.
gonna find me right here.
You're going to find him here.
I am dormant AF for the time being.
Okay. I mean, for the time being is over, because right now is the thing.
True.
Real quick, do you wanna run through like where this where these questions are kind of from, like what the aim is, and like where that, like those things sort of stem from? I'm gonna use the restroom real quick before we start,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Sure, I can do that.
I'll be right back. But he's gonna take it away.
Very cool. So, uh, one of the biggest stories, or one of the biggest events in Daniel happened last chapter, where the the trio of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were all wrestled up and thrown into a fiery furnace. And those men were untouched, unscathed, untarnished by the furnace as it melted down around them. The furnace was so hot that it was breaking down. It killed the men that threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the furnace. It was so hot that the men that threw the three men, the guards that threw the three men in there, died of heat. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, we're untouched in the furnace, and instead they were accompanied by one of the Bible's. There's 3 or 4 different Christophanies, is I believe what the event is called, where there's a visual representation of Christ, as just an embodiment of before his appearance in the New Testament, which is phenomenal. It's such a beautiful chapter. Really, really, really fun, really enjoyable. One of the first stories besides was David and Goliath and Moses, parting the sea, like those, like that. It's like that level of just miracles that God can perform. Uh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing.
Couldn't have said it better.
But
I agree.
I sent you a. Oh, you have. Were you gonna read it?
Yeah, I'm gonna read it.
Very well.
Daniel 4. Nebuchadnezzar the king, unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I thought it good to shew the signs and wonders that the high God hath wrought toward me. How great are his signs, and how mighty are his wonders! His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation. So they're praising him at the start. Or he's giving, peace be multiplied unto you. How about this? How about we listen to the whole thing the way they put it, and then you're gonna hear our voices read it out loud probably 1,000,000,000 times. How about we do that? That's what we're gonna do. John,
We can take turns.
We're gonna do the whole thing just read out loud.
Okay.
Coming from This Place by Max McLean. We're doing the King James version. Let's all just read through it.
Daniel 4. Nebuchadnezzar the king, unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, Peace be multiplied unto you. I thought it good to show the signs and wonders that the high God hath wrought toward me. How great are his signs, and how mighty are his wonders! His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation. I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in mine house, and flourishing in my palace. I saw a dream which made me afraid, and the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head troubled me. Therefore made I a decree to bring in all the wise men of Babylon before me, that they might make known unto me the interpretation of the dream. Then came in the magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers. And I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation thereof. But at the last Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belteshazzar, according to the name of my God, and in whom is the spirit of the holy gods. And before him I told the dream, saying, O Belteshazzar, master of the magicians, because I know that the spirit of the holy gods is in thee, and no secret troubleth thee, tell me the visions of my dream that I have seen, and the interpretation thereof.
All right, we're going to pause it right there because that's a lot. That's a lot. We're going to learn the right way to do this, but I'll be upfront and honest again with everybody in the chat that might be there. I'm new to this, so I haven't. How many are? There's 37 lines. All right, and this is like when a chef comes to your table and tells you what's in every little sauce, not sauce, every little everything, and that's when they really, really, really want you to know what's going on, and I think that's happening right now. So
Remember, I mean, it's only to 18, verse 18. So we're only
okay.
we only get to be about halfway. So we only had a few more verses.
Okay.
But we can catch up. That's no big deal. The I don't know, this chapter is kind of funny because it sounds to me like he's announcing to his people. It sounds like he's standing up on his
It sounds like he's doing the
he's
same
making
thing.
announcements.
It sounds like he's
Hmm?
bringing back Daniel 2 or whatever it was.
Seems to be like a recap.
Yeah. Is it?
Um, yeah, like, well, this is Nebuchadnezzar uh, talking to all people, nations, and languages that dwell on the earth. He's announcing to them, peace, uh, peace be multiplied unto you. Um,
So the first question here is saying he made a grand announcement. What was his proclamation? To whom it was addressed? So his proclamation was, peace be multiplied unto you. Frame of mind. That's kind of why I was stopping after like the first four, because
the
I
all
guess
right, so
emboldened, right? Emboldened would be a way to put it. Is that an accurate
that
word?
uh, it can be used, sure. Um,
Felt
uh,
confident.
uh,
Because it's saying his mind, like I'll describe it for sure, but I also might be wrong, and so
oh, it's okay.
that's why I say that, because he sounds confident.
It's a grand announcement. For question one, he has a grand announcement, and that announcement is literally the recap to what we read.
Oh, okay. See, yeah, it's a good thing I brought you with me, man. It's like, dude, have you
His
noticed we're driving on the road? Yeah, dude, it's called a road trip.
his
Thank you.
his proclamation is his own personal testimony to the world, essentially, and all that can speak the language. He says that what is it? How does he say it? He says, "Unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell on earth or in all the earth." He's addressing all of those people, and he's telling everyone from all corners of the world about his testimony of what happened just with him in the past few chapters. From the from all the different signs. He's trying to be professional. I think it's kind of funny. This is just such a very king thing to do, to appear strong by hiding uh, the details that are shown in the previous chapters, which I think is kind of funny. It shows uh, all of these signs he's talking about. How mighty are his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation.
Listen,
He's
it might
talking
sound
about,
bad a little, but it sounds like a truth post. He's just posting a truth.
yeah, he's truthing right
How
now
great
to
are his
everybody.
signs? How mighty are his wonders? Listen, it really kind of, if it's a
They really
recap,
are the greatest.
they're the greatest. I, Nebuchadnezzar, was arrested in mine house. Mine. Did you know I was arrested in my house?
Terrible, terrible.
That's
Uh,
that's a great because he's saying right here, I thought it good to show the signs and wonders that God has wrought toward me. And he's saying right there, he's just like, I felt like I needed to share this.
he said, I saw a dream which made me afraid. Yeah, so afraid that you're going to kill all of your wise men, all of your people. You were going to literally destroy your leadership, like, for because of this.
I commend
You were,
his zeal in getting answers. I'll say that.
yeah, let's say he was very professional at avoiding a lot of the vulnerabilities or expressing his vulnerabilities throughout all of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, no, he really wanted that answer. Like he
Yes.
really wanted that answer. I
So,
empathy. I understand. I don't have the power to say just go make everybody disappear that can't answer it because that's a lot of people. But I feel that. I just want an answer a lot. So I get it. And it does. It can make you afraid. Because when you see something coming down the pike and it doesn't look like a baseball, it kind of looks like a football, you don't know really how big your hands need to be to catch it and to stop it. So that makes sense.
to whom did he give all the credit?
Okay, now I'm making sure. So it says the high God had wrath toward me. Is that where they're gonna, is that what this question is trying to frame it and saying, like, whom did he give all the credit? Or am I
Yep.
seeing
The,
all?
the high god, he wasn't. This is actually really important because the even though the I guess the fingers that can be pointed towards are like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and Daniel, like those people could easily have a finger pointed at them. The intent and um, the overall rationale for Nebuchadnezzar right now is saying that God was responsible through this. The high God showed me the signs, and those signs were through certain people, but like he doesn't mention those people, and I think it's pretty important um, because he knows for like he's 100% certain that that was God,
So
and
then that kind of leads into the next one where he says, like, what title did the king ascribe to God? Is that the high God?
yes,
That's the high
the
God.
highest of high, the King of Kings. I don't think he calls him. I don't think he calls God the King of Kings, but that's just what God is known by,
So
known
let's try
as.
to find exactly the title is the high God. And it says here, what did he name as God 3A? Oh, the everlasting kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation.
Mhm.
So how did he refer to God's kingdom and dominion? Mighty. How mighty are his wonders, and everlasting would his kingdom be.
That's right.
Okay. Which doesn't go with the it doesn't go with his dream though. That doesn't
What do you mean?
necessarily. It does say it would be long lasting. The dream's like it's a gold. Hold on, I've got a book for this. Where's the thing? Any and all references used will be supplemental and to launch off further points of thought and conversation chat if you're out there listening. It's not definitive just because it's in another book. The only truth here is the Bible.
Based.
Well, the whole
And
reason
honestly,
about
this
the
is
book
more
was...
so just a personal Bible study that we felt compelled to share with others that are, that if people want to watch, it's here. And we're not ashamed of anything. We're also learning. I'm forever learning what the Bible has to offer. Same with Nurse. We all are eager to learn and grow and understand better
We were
in order
blessed
to
with,
ground our faith.
we were blessed with the opportunity to have the platforms of YouTube and Twitch in our past, and it's very cool to see how everybody we met through Twitch. Actually, we became real good friends, and it's really funny the way that we come back to the idea of always wanting to get back into some sort of content, but then the only thing we ever really end up saying is how much closer we need to get to the Bible. So those two paths led to the same point on the road, which was not convenient. It was super convenient, actually, but it was no coincidence. That's for damn sure. Oh no, I've got Daniel in here. Where is it? I want to see. Keep chit chatting. I want to see where I can find this.
Sure. The dream in which that Nebuchadnezzar is talking about was from back in chapter 2, I believe. Daniel chapter 2 is where Nebuchadnezzar is trying to figure out why he keeps having the same vision or the same dream, and it's driving him crazy to a point where he's trying to get any answer that feels legitimate. And right now his only way of doing that is by demanding an answer from his wise men, his wizards, his magicians, his wise big brains. He's trying to get an opinion from them without actually telling his dream. He wants them to guess his dream, as in to fully verify that what he is seeing is a vision. He's trying to get to the bot because this is a dream that he isn't constructing himself. Therefore, it is profound. It is very jarring, and it's clearly affecting him in such a way.
It's
And
like the from now to not just when something in his life that he can perceive is going to happens. He's actually overwhelmed by the potential of it being something generation to generation, something that may to past men have been, maybe, I'm not gonna say like unexplainable, but not understood as well, or definitely might have been terrifying. So for him to,
well, he
it's
has king
basically
brain.
admitting he doesn't know what's gonna happen.
He has king brain. It's one of those things
King
where
brain, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
he lacks wisdom, but he has knowledge, um, and the knowledge of the information that he is given can't be processed because of his lack of wisdom and life experience. And in order to get a proper diagnosis of what he is experiencing, that is essentially I would feel like is the purpose behind him receiving the dreams to begin with. They are uh, they are more so not for him to use on his own. I would guess as far as the truth that is provided to him in symbolic imagery was something that transcends the individual. He it's a vision that wasn't his. It's
Talking
a
about that
dream.
guy.
Yeah.
Talking
That
about that
that
statue.
yeah, and that statue, in and of itself, the dream itself and the context within it really is just the basis to connect Daniel and his definition and his explanation to the dream. And the dream itself is what I believe to be a form of truth that enables the validity, that enables
The
uh
understanding, the actual the you can't conceptualize something that have you can't I don't know how to say it. You can't conceptualize something you've never conceptualized. But
trying to find
if he's gonna be
I'm
told
trying
it
to find
in
the
the
best
form of like a
word.
statue, something a king understands is, legacy. And a statue would represent legacy better than almost anything. So I think that's probably why the statue came to him. But the
The
statue is sort of more prescriptive than descriptive. So I don't want to
the
jump like into everything.
testimony that he is talking about isn't about the vision itself. It's about receiving the vision and
Mm-hmm.
the legitimacy of the vision,
Yeah.
not necessarily like the context of the vision. It's not, he's not, he was granted information that enabled him to verify that this was a supernatural event, that this was something that was a little certificate of authenticity saying that you're having a vision that from a higher plane, from a higher power, and
Is that
that
why they're saying it made him afraid?
well, it wasn't his dream, and he was having it over and over again, um,
It wasn't
and
his
he
dream
didn't.
and he was having it over and over. That's a really neat way to put it.
It was his vision. It's the vision that he was having, and he couldn't figure it out, and he was trying his best to have it diagnosed without giving away too much information so that his wise men weren't just gonna blow smoke up his ass. Like he wanted a legitimate, because this was a legitimate problem that he weighed enough to determine that it was worth killing all of his wise men that couldn't answer the question
So this is
because
right
of
around where
how.
we are if anyone's following.
So,
You're describing that perfectly.
oh, cool. I didn't even know we're on them three.
No, but that's what's so great about these. It's the way that you're describing it, it comes right in. Because then he
Yeah.
does. Then he starts saying, basically like, when I got my sham, wow, this is how I did, and it worked, and I was scared because the stain and the wife, oh boy. Uh, but no, then you were just going into how he initially tried to address the
Yeah.
problem, which is emote only, except without the head. You know,
Whew. Yeah, and the I guess what I'm trying to explain is as much as the information within the dream is important, it's not the main premise as to why the king was receiving the dream to begin with.
correct. I agree.
The dream
I can
was
see that.
yet another miracle that was supposed to demonstrate the power of God, and that was bumped up a notch. Each chapter was bumped up a notch when it came to, all right. So Daniel was uh, chapter one. Daniel said, "We don't want the king's meat. This stuff makes us feel icky, and we get fat. Let us eat." What's that magical word? That's like, let us be
Pulse.
vegan. Pulse. Allow us pulse. Allow us to eat pulse for 10 days, or was it 10 days or something like that? Um, and lo and behold, after that amount of time, boom, they were ripped. They were eating. So like
This is not an endorsement for veganism. Don't go vegan, by the
no,
way.
he demonstrated that he knew. Um, he knew better
He had
than
insight.
what they
Yeah.
thought. So that was the first sort of testimony, and then it was bumped up a notch with the vision. And oh, that's not enough. You don't. All right, so you're gonna start worshiping a statue after having all that. After All right, great. Well, guess what? We're gonna, yeah, after you think you're gonna persecute the people that were showing you grace, God's grace to begin with. All right, well, we're gonna show, we're gonna prove another miracle by throwing them in the furnace and them not being touched at all by the flames or by the soot, and they won't smell like it either. But the men that were barely outside of the furnace that threw them in to begin with were the ones that died of heat exhaustion. Sure, okay, that makes sense. What that if that's not a miracle, then that King Nebuchadnezzar is just a blind fool. But he was not. And that's what chapter 4 is all about. Him explaining not necessarily the nitty-gritty details of his processes, but
Correct.
explaining his testimony from
The
starting from the bottom.
ends, not the means. You know,
Yep. And yeah,
just
that's
bringing
what he
them
was
to God.
announcing. He was announcing the that God is the King of Kings.
Well, this was actually a really good chapter to start on then to start the first stream because if we're just going to recap all the stuff we did in the first couple of ones off stream, this is great then. Uh, great,
Sure.
actually. Couldn't have
Well,
planned it better. So, according
yeah.
to V7, who showed up, all of them, all of them, all of the magicians, all of the astrologers, all of the Chaldeans, all the soothsayers, all of them. That's who showed up. I shared the dream with them. And let's see, what do you want these men to do for him? Yeah, this Sauce and I talked a lot about this, but he's basically just like, am I frowning or am I smiling? Tell me, or I'm gonna kill you. Which again, yeah, that's some pretty king brain. Like that's like you got a meeting to like tonight. You need to get this solved. You need to get this off your chest. So
Yeah.
I had to get it out. And then were they successful in their ability to satisfy the king? Absolutely not. No, they were not. And again, if this is not going into the recap, I'm not going to go into the recap because I'm just going to let it sit with the narrative a little bit, and that's going to bring us to right about where we pause the actual audio, and then we're going to kind of continue with that. So let's do the rest. We're going to start right back, I do believe, at the end of 7, so the start of 8.
Thus were the visions of mine head in my
Nope.
bed.
Excuse
I
me.
saw.
Back up a little bit more. I'm going to try to go
It
for 8.
says, And I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation thereof. But at the last Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belteshazzar, according to the name of my God, and in whom is the spirit of the holy gods. And before him I told the dream, saying, O Belteshazzar, master of the magicians, because I know that the spirit of the holy gods is in thee, and no secret troubleth thee, tell me the visions of my dream that I have seen, and the interpretation thereof. Thus were the visions of mine head in my bed. I saw, and behold a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. The tree grew, and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all. The beasts of the field had shadow under it, and the fowls of the heaven dwelt in the boughs thereof, and all flesh was fed of it. I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher, and an holy one came down from heaven. He cried aloud, and said thus, Hew down the tree, and cut off his branches, shake off his leaves, and scatter his fruit. Let the beasts get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches. Nevertheless leave the stump of his roots in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass, in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth. Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men. This dream I, King Nebuchadnezzar, have seen. Now thou, O Belteshazzar, declare the interpretation thereof. For as much as all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known unto me the interpretation, but thou art able, for the spirit of the holy gods is in thee.
Quick question. How much time has passed in between 3 and 4?
I'd have to look.
I kind of want to know that. Because that tree doesn't sound an awful lot like a statue. Just gonna point that out. That's
is
kind of why I was harping on the statue a little bit, because now he's talking about a tree.
Stump of his roots in the earth.
I mean, he could be like metaphorically speaking about a statue, and like again, like being sort of Cersei Lannister about him, being like, well, we don't not do this that way maybe sometimes.
That is weird.
I'm on KJV. Let's see if these questions have anything to answer for it,
Yeah,
and maybe we can all learn together, because I'm actually confused now. Thought I read something about a statue. So who showed up after all the king's magic men failed to interpret his dream, and how did he address him? I highlighted that when we were going through it, actually. I noticed that. Master of the Magicians. He called him Belteshazzar, obviously, but Master of the Magicians. I thought that was interesting, because he wasn't the Master of Magicians when that happened. Like, he's embellishing these things. That's why I said it's like a Truth Social post. It's just sort of saying what happened in the end.
That is bizarre.
And what did Daniel possess that the king recognized from earlier? What did he possess? In spite of the holy gods and the Oh, and in whom is the spirit of the holy gods? Okay. Whew. Okay. That's what he possessed. That's what he possessed. The king recognized from earlier dealings. Yeah, he possessed the spirit of the holy gods. According to the name of my God.
In chapter 3, verse, like the last two chapters, or the last two verses, it says, it's the recap of chapter 3 about the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who hath sent his angel, delivered his servants that trusted in him, and changed the king's word, yielded their bodies, that they may not serve nor worship any god except their own God. Therefore I make a decree, people, nation, and language, which speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut into pieces, and their house shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after this sort. He's just trying his best right there. The king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in province of Babylon.
All right, so that's
And
why
then
I'm
it goes.
looking. At
So
the
there's like
timeline.
and then it just jumps into 4, and
Yes.
he's talking about a tree. What's up with that?
Do you know what's up with that?
No, that's
Okay.
why I am going to Google it.
All right, chat. We have officially done what we have come here to do, which is this: go in between the commas and understand. That's let's see. Okay, so we're done with 5. So he told Daniel about the visions he experienced while in bed. Describe what the king saw in his vision. Describe the tree. So the next question mentions there's a tree. But we get to describe the king's vision as something that it wasn't. That's the description. And I'm perplexed by that. Thus were the visions of mine. No, they weren't, though. Let's see.
Is this a second dream?
I was wondering if he's just switching the events around and doesn't want to tell him about the statue, or if maybe this is another dream. That's why I asked how much time has passed, because maybe he's had more testimonial exposure, you know? Thus were the visions of mine head in my bed. I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. Thus were the visions. Is the plural visions? So like because he didn't tell anybody about anything at all. Now he's saying, I told them. This is some Love Island type dynamic stuff. Like, hold on, Sammy wrote the letter.
I said, where did the tree come from? As it was not mentioned at all in the previous chapters. ChatGPT was like, great question. And you're right. The tree in Daniel 4 does not appear in any other chapter. That's intentional. Okay. Here's why. The tree did not exist before the dream. Okay. The tree is not a physical tree that existed earlier. It appears only in Nebuchadnezzar's dream in chapter 4.
So this is a second dream.
So this is a second dream, apparently. Okay.
So that's what we're going to go with. That's
Okay,
fine.
so
We're going to go with that.
The book of Daniel includes several symbolic visions, statues, beasts, horns, and they usually appear only when the chapter introduces them. There is no expectation that the symbols must be introduced earlier. Sure.
Okay,
No
back to the
gaslighting.
actual, back to the real questions. Stop asking this clanker for advice about a book.
Oh, okay. Here, I'm going to keep reading. It says Daniel 1 through 3 is historical narrative. Daniel 4 is the royal letter and testimony of Nebuchadnezzar. So in this letter, Nebuchadnezzar recounts a dream that he had. The tree doesn't need an earlier setup.
Well,
It's
I mean, you can
literally,
say it
apparently
doesn't.
an
But
additional. Um, well,
it can
the
say what
dream
it wants.
itself is just like the statue in his dream didn't need any setup because it was literally just a vision that was given that was like he was having that he couldn't explain. Same thing with this tree, I suppose.
I guess.
Doesn't need an earlier setup. It only appears because the dream begins. So this is, I get it. I get that.
The framing
It's
makes
just a
more
very,
sense. Yeah.
His chat GPT is being a little pedantic with this explanation. But yeah, so this is all just an additional testimony. This is filling the reader in that there were other dreams that Nebuchadnezzar was having.
After
besides.
he had appointed all four of them to their new roles, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense. Cool.
There's just a lot of things that are lost. Not lost in translation, but you have to really unearth them.
I'm okay with just sort of discovering that time has passed. It's usually why it's the first question I have when it comes to the Bible.
No, those are really good questions because I was having the very same ones.
So, if anybody else out there feels like that's where they get hung up on the word, just know that you can. I'm not saying you can get past that as in you can forget that that exists, but you can understand it too.
That's true. We're still figuring it out ourselves.
Yeah, I'll try to describe pitfalls that I've fallen into when it came to, pansy ass in my way back into the Bible and trying to actually get close with Christ. And that's definitely one of them. When people say, well, yeah, they just don't know how many years this guy lived for, could have been a couple hundred. Well, to some people that's a hurdle. But when people start walking out of ovens unscathed, again, the miracle becomes the easiest part to believe. The years don't seem a couple years off. It's easy to understand that a dude might have had a couple extra dreams. Not that hard of a pill to swallow. Don't be a secular prick. Be open. Dudes came out the oven with fresh drip out of H&M. So that was a pitfall I used to fall into. Sorry, I'm eating. If you can hear it, it's
Yep.
ASMR, then enjoy it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we are in
It's number 7 here, right?
number 7. What about the messenger coming down from the heaven? Coming down from heaven. What did the one he called the messenger, the Holy One, coming down from heaven, call out in a loud voice? What were his instructions? Well,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
Hew down
goes
the
up to-
tree.
Verse 18.
Hew down the tree. Then cut off his branches. His. Why do they say his? Just, I'm, just cried aloud.
Is it
and said
capital
that-
H?
No. Cut off his branches, shake off his leaves, and scatter his fruit. Talking about a tree as a male, which again is, if that's symbolic or something, then I'm just gonna point those those words are there. It doesn't say scatter. It's, I don't know what that means yet. We're all figuring it out. Let the beast get away from under it, and now it says it, and the fowls from his branches.
Let's see.
Oh, talking about the fruit. Get away from underneath the fruit. And all the byproducts or whatever it's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Balthazar.
What is the one he called the messenger, the Holy One, coming down from him, calling a loud voice? Okay, so that is the instruction. So that's the answer to 7 there. Cried aloud, said thus, hew down the tree. I'm guessing that means cut. I was making a...
I
Here's a
saw
tree.
in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and an holy one come down from heaven. He cried aloud and said thus,
A watcher.
hew down the tree and cut off his branches. So it's the tree that he is implying.
Right. I'll accept that. I'm cool with that. Is the Watcher and a Holy One came down from heaven? Are those 2 different people? Or is that one person?
No, that's the same title, or
Okay.
just same person, different title.
Okay.
Same entity, different title.
All right. Describe what the messenger from heaven instructed them to do with the stump. Oh, we haven't even got to the stump.
Yeah, no,
Let's
it's
get to the stump.
a stump of the roots in the earth, even with a brand of iron and brass in the tender grass of the field. Let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth.
So, describe the messenger from heaven instructed to do with the stump. How were the hearers? Okay, let's deal with this stump. Even with... Oh, yeah, keep the tree in. Keep the tree.
You leave the stump,
Keep the tree.
no matter how botched or ruined or filled with iron and brass bands.
You keep it.
Yeah, leave it there. Let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth.
Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. This matter is by the decree of the what? Okay, so let his
This is
heart...
deep.
I know, I'm trying to... So cut a... Oh, this is why I wish the phone thing would have worked, because I want to draw. I need to draw you. I need to draw this. Fuck it, I'll try to explain it best I can.
Well, if you need to draw something, man, draw it. That's okay.
No, it's good. I'm gonna probably just doodle the outline of it just to see it in my eyeballs, but that paperwork is other paperwork. I can't do it there. This one's gonna work. This is gonna be fine. Just do a little bit. So if you have a tree, and this is, this is a cautionary, this might be, again, this is what I'm sort of reading from this. This is a cautionary tale to people and a nice representation of the Chesterton's fence thingy. Chesterton's fence principle right there. Nevertheless, leave the stump of his roots in the earth. Cried aloud and said thus, hew down the tree. So cut down the tree, cut off his branches, shake off his leaves, and scatter the fruit. Scatter the fruit, and then get the beasts away from under it. Is it saying get the beasts away from under it and the fowls off its branches so that the stuff doesn't hit it? Or is it saying all that stuff away from this tainted thing? Because if it's saying keep the stump, I'm guessing it's not saying that the whole thing is tainted, but it is saying that what has grown has
I
become.
don't think there's anything tainted with the tree.
Okay, that's why I'm asking. So just everybody get away from it because it's fallen. Okay, that makes sense too. Like
And
let
the
the bees
fowls
get
from
away.
his branches.
Yep, let the
No,
fowls.
it's done. There's nothing else for that tree to provide. Would be my guess because there are no branches. Everything was taken from it, and
Bees.
it's just a memory. It's a stump with all of its features that are left and
It's the
remain.
word let
It'll still
that
exist.
gets me.
Wet as in
No,
it's
let. L-E-T.
tangible. Oh,
Like when someone says let, it means like in my mind
let
when
it.
I hear that it's like okay, well, it's a passive thing. Well, it is allowed. But in a lot of scripture when it says let, it's sort of like loose the arrows, let loose the arrows. It's more a command. It's more like it's actually a descriptive thing happening, more active, not passive. So let the beast get away from under it. It basically is saying the beast will leave it. The fowls will leave it. Saying like
This
let
is
them makes me think that they have a choice and they might learn a lesson if something is wrong with the tree. It's like they can eat bad food. Let them eat it. Let them put their hand on the stove. Just the word let
well.
seems permissive. That's why I always get tripped up on
Um,
it.
Let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth. The portion, it's at that point. I'm looking at other depictions. It's symbolic for people are saying, or not people, but
That's all I got. The tree. I'm guessing they said cut it off because it's taking too much. It's given a lot, and now it's time for it to just. It's time to just be a tree again. Start from the bottom. That's my interpretation.
or think of it this way: as much as the base of that tree isn't ever going to be its full self again, um, it's cutting down a tree normally destroys it. Leaving the stump and the roots means Nebuchadnezzar would lose his power, but his kingdom would not be permanently destroyed, and his authority would be preserved for later restoration. This is God's mercy, judgment with a promise of return.
Hold the fucking phone. Hold on. Is he. I know this is just probably me, like, speculating on the next episode because I don't know anything about this, but it sounds to me, and this is why I asked if he was a good or a bad dude in one of our first sessions. Um, he's inverting. He's inverting this vision he had from 1, 2, and 3. It's a completely flipped thing in this because the roots in the stump are the polar opposite of the crumbling, shifting feet of the statue.
Right. Well, statues aren't trees.
Well, I know, but
I,
it's the reason I asked is he uh, just reporting this dream that he had to other people? Is this testimonial a little bit
I'm
skewed? Because
I'm under the understanding at this point that Daniel interpreted other dreams in good faith, as the
Okay.
first dream that he interpreted was correct,
Okay.
and
Okay. That's fair.
his that was
He's
his test.
trust the experts. Got it.
Yeah. So at this point, his dream is never leave the stump. He said he cried aloud in the what is it? I saw the visions in my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and an holy one came down from the heaven. That watcher, uh, in 14 says, cried aloud and said, hew down the tree, cut off its branches, shake off his leaves, and scatter the fruit. Let the beasts get away from under it. Let the fowls from his branches. So those are, there's definitely some symbolic meaning here, obviously, but the way Nebuchadnezzar is saying this is uh, it's weird because it seems like he still doesn't understand. Like Nebuchadnezzar doesn't.
This is where I'm acting a little bit like a Nebby here myself. 'Cause these, I mean, the only response, if he's, because it sounds like he's either missing something or he's just like, oh, you said it's that. Hey guys, it's that. He's just sort of
Oh,
just being the middleman here. Um,
okay.
where are you getting this
Hew down
info?
the tree, cut off his branches. His, as in Nebuchadnezzar's branches.
I told
Those
you.
are, yeah. So I think I'm picking up what you're putting down here. Shake off his leaves. So this is implying that, you know what?
He
How
needs
about
to
this?
he needs to strip himself completely down because there's so many things underneath him and so many things living off of him that the stump, when it is left, will still be the foundation of a kingdom.
It's the memory of which he used to reign and the testimony of how big and massive and powerful it was, judging by the rings or judging just by the looks of what the tree used to look
Let
like,
his heart be
what the tree
cheerful.
is. Like you could tell that tree, like imagine going to a redwood forest and looking at a stump of a redwood. That that redwood will be perceived as a it won't that redwood won't be remembered as a stump. It won't be remembered as a short looking tree. It will still be remembered as a redwood. And you can see just with how wide and massive the stump is that
But it's
it at one
only
point
the
was
memory,
yeah, so
the footprint.
it's yeah, kind of like a foot, yeah,
Okay, well
sure,
then
like
I
a
don't think a
footprint.
tree is that different than a statue.
uh the
Both of them
metaphors.
have footprints.
True. Metaphors, though. I mean, we're talking about roots. We're talking about it's what it provides. A tree is more of a nourishment and a framework for things to thrive, while a statue is a representation of an establishment. Um, while the tree is more of a circulatory system, while the statue is more of a nervous system. Does that make sense?
Wait, hold on. Brain blast. Fuck, I had one of those headache with pictures. Um,
Sure.
damn, what was it? No, I think the tree is the
I
nervous
don't know.
system because I think the tree is the person. I think the dew. I think the dew is God. Like,
Sure.
yeah. Um, because again, I'm looking at this little picture thing here, and we haven't gotten to this thing yet.
Well,
I don't believe, but I'm just
could raise
looking
a
again.
point.
I'm just looking
I
at the
could raise a
picture.
point
Shoot.
that natural things that exist in God's domain, natural things that happen, include trees that grow. Those things are part of a system, an ecological system that enables not just
Yeah, they
one
might
thing to
be two
thrive, but
different
many.
dreams.
While I would assume that a statue his statue dream was a representation of man-made or structures, like a depiction of structures and societies, while the tree is a depiction of how things function and use one another in order to exist.
Oh, one's a
And
timeline, one's a snapshot sort of thing.
one one is like a Y, or no, like no, it's not even that because they're both hows. One I would like in my
One
the
is
way
the
I'm
individual
visualizing it
king,
anyway.
and then the other is the generational kingdom.
Sure, the rule. It's a different form of structure. While one is governance, the other one is like a natural hierarchy
So then I
of
guess we can
balance.
move into maybe this next one will help us out here because it says is that what specific instructions the man given the mind of an animal until 7. So the question says give him the mind of an animal, and this says let a beast's heart be given unto him. So it's like if those are going to be interchangeable definitions, I'm okay with that too. Mind of an animal until 7 times passes for him.
How about before we get too crazy, I'm gonna bust out my other favorite version of the Bible, or the iteration. Instead of using King James, let's do New International Version and see what the New International Version explains
Let's see.
this to be. So 17, no, we were on
This is
15.
16, 15, I think. Yeah, do with the heaven.
All right, so I'll just start it. I'll start at 13.
Give him a little
In the
power button.
visions I saw while lying in bed, I looked. There before me was a holy one, a messenger, coming down from heaven. He called in a loud voice, cut down the tree, trim off its branches, strip off its leaves, and scatter its fruit. Let the animals flee from under it, and the birds from its branches. Let the stump and its roots bound with iron and bronze remain in the ground, in the grass of the field. Let him be drenched with the dew of heaven, and let him live with the animals among the plants and the earth. Let his mind be changed from that of a man, and let him be given the mind of an animal, till 7 times pass by for him. It looks like Nebuchadnezzar's going to learn a very valuable lesson over 7 generations, I would guess. Oh, a seven. What did they say in seven?
Just says 7 times.
Right.
I guess, I mean, how many times does a person get a. How many times does an individual get a chance at a generation? One. So how many times? You know, I mean, I can, again, I don't really know the meaning of the word, but I can let it be a. What's the word? Not figurative, but yeah, it is more figurative descriptor.
That was verse 14. Uh,
So let his mind be
let his heart.
changed, and then let his heart be changed. Again, I'm willing to go with both. I'm fine with that. Uh, but yeah, no, this is definitely supposed to just be
I'm
dream.
going to read some other bits here that kind of revolve around what's going on. So the first little bit was, nevertheless, leave the stump of the roots in the earth. Cutting down a tree normally destroys it. Leaving the stump and roots means Nebuchadnezzar would lose his power, but his kingdom would not be permanently destroyed. I would say not be permanently destroyed because of the essential, like the tombstone of what that stump is. His authority would be preserved for later restoration. Could be. Shoot. And he's probably experiencing his lessons over and over again in other ways, which I am very confused about because it's
This is why I
7 times
asked.
over. No, it's cool. It's neat, but there's something about it that just makes me
So we're just gonna
Ponder.
let's round to the end of this here, where he says, "This dream I, King Nebuchadnezzar, have seen. Now thou, O Belteshazzar, declare the interpretation thereof. For as much as we all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known unto me the interpretation, but thou art able, for the spirit of the holy gods is in thee." So how does this explain the sovereignty of God in all situations and over all the earth? That's a question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on. How does this explain the sovereignty of God in all situations? What a question. Hold the phone. What do you think this is recounting / describing from a historical perspective? The king... That's a big ass plane. The king asked Daniel to interpret the dream because of what special... Alright, so I'm trying to kind of finish the end of 9 by kind of reading into 10 and stuff. How does this remind us of a kind of judgment? I don't know what kind of judgment it reminds me of because I don't know anything about the Bible. This is the first book, so it doesn't remind me of any of them. But if it does remind anyone of that, then feel free.
Describe what the messenger from heaven. No, wait. Yeah.
It's like the last question of 9.
Yeah.
I don't really know. How does this remind us of a kind of judgment? How does it remind us of a kind of judgment? Well, it's kind of like you said. It sounds like he's kind of forced to relive the same thing over and over again. It's like that is sort of a judgment, right? Or is that more of like, the colloquial accepted? Is it more like a punishment per se? Or like,
It could be both. What is a
Right.
punishment?
Well, that's
other
what I'm saying.
than-
I'm using that word as in like your just deserts, as in like the justice, right? And like punishment being positive or negative. The reinforcement, I guess, whether it be good or bad.
How does
So,
this remind us of a kind of judgment?
of a
Oh,
kind?
oh, I think I'm getting it. I think it's starting to click.
How
Okay,
does
so
it a kind of judgment? What is a kind of judgment? Like, give me an example of that.
do you know like the whole process of this goes into Revelation, which I think you'll love. It's a wild book, but
Revelation
it's
is incredibly interesting. I don't know anything
it's
about
so
it.
confusing,
I don't
but
know
it's
anything
so
about it.
cool.
I know. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for it.
I don't really think there's a whole lot of books or Bible study on Revelation, but
That honestly,
from my dad at least.
if we could just
But
get everybody, whoever wants to be involved in that discussion, at whatever time
that'd
that
be
happens,
cool.
that's probably what's going to end up happening.
So in the end of times, in the apocalypse, in the final days of judgment, what happens, Nurse, is we will be judged in the end. At the very end, when we're all dead, we will be. What I like to visualize is we will all be brought back to life, all of us, all at once, boom, and we will be judged one by one, individually, and we will be either sent to heaven or hell at the end of days. So
So this reminds us of a kind of judgment because they're allowing the stump to remain, and the judgment
yes,
is okay. Oh,
and
that's
for the
all.
judgment
That's literally all I need is just
to
something simple.
experience later,
Hmm.
for the judgment to happen later.
That's all I needed.
So, if anything, during that time in between our
Oh my God! That clicks. I got it. Okay.
so yeah,
Yeah, that
it's
makes
nifty,
sense.
but it's also leading me into more questions that I need to look up myself.
Well, I think this
Because
next one
that's
is going to lead you
confusing me.
into plenty enough questions. So, how does this explain the sovereignty of God in all situations and over all the earth?
Well,
How
the
the
sovereignty of
hell?
God, it's very, very just down to its core. It's a beautiful thing where we as humans are given the freedom, that choice, that gift of
Okay, here it is.
choice. We were given that ability to choose God. We aren't forced to worship him.
Yep.
We are given the choice and are gently encouraged to love and follow God. But that's like that's like New Testament stuff. We're still in the Old Testament here.
So I think
Um,
it's referring more to the direct, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. So there's the sovereignty, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. There's the sovereign part, and setteth up over it the basest of men. So those are the words that the Bible, like if I were to copy like answers on like a test where it was just like, well, that is the answer, right? But now if it says explain that, because it doesn't say explain that, I'm not going to, because I don't, it doesn't,
all right, let's finish the 17 and 18's King James version really quick. Let me read this. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the world of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth to whomever he will. Uh, he isn't capitalized, so whoever can get it earned it. Like it's sort of it's the natural selection of things with the way we run our society as humans amongst each other. This isn't a so like that's also what you're saying is like it's what was the word um it's giving us the choice to follow him.
sovereignty,
uh
sovereignty.
right. So when he says when the book this matter by a decree of the watchers demand by the world of the holy ones, the intent that by the living may know that the most high ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whomever he will and setteth up over the basest of men. Why am I reading King James? Oh no, this is New International still. Wow,
It's a
cool.
little different. I was to say it is a little bit different than King James, but
um,
I get
this
it. I get what you're saying.
this
So,
dream this dream I had this dream I, King Nebuchadnezzar, have seen, declare the interpretation, uh, as all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known unto me the interpretation, but thou art able, for the spirit of the holy gods is in thee. All right, that one kind of threw me.
okay, that's okay. I got it. Never mind. So that's how he's saying. That's how it explains sovereignty of God in all the situations, quote, and over all the earth. He's saying, but thou art able, for the spirit of the holy gods is in thee. Thou art able because it's in you. That's what it's saying, which is a good thing.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Um, this is the one I
Oh,
wanted to get to. What do you think is the recounting slash? What do you think this is recounting slash describing from a historical perspective?
it seems to be very consistent with other kingdoms that have risen and fallen.
This is yeah. So like what? According to this would be saying that this is like around like 600 BC. I don't know nothing about BC history. If anyone is out there watching, you're gonna get to love to know. You're gonna get to know to love my takes on history. Geez, 600 BC kingdoms. I guess I'll look up. So like just because the question saying like, what do you think this is recounting, describing from a historical perspective? Let's find out, right?
Sure.
If this were to, if the if the geography is all right and accounted for, then it's probably some war shit. I don't know. Someone's probably losing something. That's what I'm gonna
Well,
guess.
that's typically, that sounds like war.
Yeah, but I wanted to dive in because what do you think this is recounting slash describing? Like, if it's recounting something very specific or like a very specific
I'd say
descriptive.
that as much as we like to say that history repeats itself.
The
We
Bible's
as
really
humans
good at being
also,
vague and specific.
right. I would say that this Bible is very human in a sense where it understands that we will go through our phases of our kingdoms. We will have the rising of powers and falling of
Ah,
powers. And this is very much the same concept, just in a visual representation of the tree itself.
okay. I think I got that. Okay. And the king asked Daniel to interpret the dream because of what special gift? The Holy Spirit?
Right. He's literally he was given the gift of godly wisdom. He was literally
He
like
was
he was
bestowed
buffed.
it upon him.
Yeah, if you look back in chapter 4, Daniel chapter 4, he was
In 3.
literally he he asked for a night. He was like, "Yo, let me pray about this." And as soon as that does, this is another miracle that happened where he downloaded essentially the wisdom necessary in order to interpret the dream of Nebuchadnezzar. Um, so like he was not only just given the words to say, but he was also given the divine understanding of the dream itself, which is like that is an incredible thing to happen. Like for like a miracle that that's just cool to me. To just straight up download information like that from the source is and that's what it was because he was given a special gift by God, um, and it was remember Daniel blessed uh, God,
Mm-hmm.
um, recognized God as the King of Kings, and that's initially what brought that that's what connected his acknowledgement, Daniel's acknowledgement of the of God during this night download of sorts.
Yeah, it's been two
Um,
weeks in between since we read that question because I remember the wording of
yeah,
him blessing it. But I think about that often actually when somebody blesses you. You know,
yeah,
it's it's actually it's the vice versa sort of bless you, which is
yeah,
a great way to perceive it.
yeah. And yeah, boom, miracle. He was blessed and he was given a special gift of divine knowledge, divine wisdom, in order to interpret and give Nebuchadnezzar the qualifying answers that he was needing, that he needed in order for him to stop killing all his smart people. Like
So I'm
that
gonna
is a
yeah,
level of desperation that I still can't get over.
that's yeah, that is really funny to me. I'm starting to actually this is Chad, you wouldn't believe how often the Bible invokes some sort of Dragon Ball metaphor. Daniel 1, 2, and 3 is sort of like the first three Dragon Ball Super movies, where
Oh,
they all
jeez.
are technically their own arcs, but for some reason they made the movies first. And the movies are better. The
So
movies are way
bad.
better. And now we're getting, now, this is a, like, no pun intended, but this is Battle of the Gods, and then we're spreading that whole one book out into another arc again, and it's like, well, it's a tree this time with roots, not a statue. It's not exactly like that, but it's like, okay, so it feels like we've heard this story. It feels like we have rehashed this. Okay, the Saiyans get together. Oh my, that's the fifth one because she's pregnant. Okay, yeah, woohoo. Goku
Yeah.
skinny. Now he's blue and Frieza's back. Okay, back to Super. Start over.
And then let's zoom out to look at all the chapters and look, hey, nothing's in chronological order except for like a general sort of like rule of thumb.
Yep, and that's
Like,
why you're sitting here saying, how has it been 15 days or 15 years or 15 what?
there
Nope.
are ways, there is like a biblical timeline. I know you've
I'm
seen it.
I'm doing a good enough job of just trying to. I'm keeping this one Daniel statue timeline pulled up because it's. I'm not trying to treat the Bible like it's a damned video game where like I'm avoiding spoilers, but I am trying not to discuss the stuff that it goes out and talks about really
You know what I've
heavily.
learned about? You know what I've learned about just rushing. If you're trying to rush spoilers, even if you were, there is still a level of comprehension that you will just. It's
chart.
impossible to be spoiled by the Bible because it is spoiler proof. Because the level of which you are trying, like for me, I was trying to speed run it and get to Revelation to figure out what happens in the future to get spoiled in order to be better prepared. No, that's not why we're here. That's not why you're doing it. That's not how and why the Bible exists.
Yeah, if the point of
Bible
music was to get
acronym.
to the end of the song, every song would be the fastest tempo ever.
Yeah, and the what is it? The Bible is like my favorite acronym for like Bible is basic information before leaving Earth. Your
I
whole
love
point
that.
is to digest the information, not make it to the end as fast as possible. So that's a critical thing. And even if you were to try, there is still a level of understanding that you need to reach in order to comprehend the ending, let alone like
Yeah.
unless it's a very simple story, kind of like Harry Potter, where you read the end and then the last page is spoiled. That sucked, but I will
Big
still say
oof.
that you
Big
still want to know
oof.
why. The thing that drove me to finish reading the rest of the Harry Potter books, even though I spoiled myself like an idiot with the last page, I still wanted to know how afterwards. I still had that lingering hunger of needing to know
Isn't that
after.
kind of
Like,
cool though that you can't even really fuck it up for yourself?
yeah, it's
Like
it's it's
some things you
it's
just
a
can't do
beautiful
that with.
thing. It's also very humbling as well.
Yeah.
As long as you take it seriously.
The reason I say
And
that is because, it's sort of like everybody knows what happens, between like I don't know, like the 1920s and like the 1946 era. Like everybody sort of knows at the end of that, it's filling it in that makes everybody, cry.
Mhm.
Um, it's like the point actually of that story is to learn the end, so you don't have to go through the beginning parts to learn it on your own, obviously. But like this is saying, here, like on this timeline, Daniel dies at some point. Oh, big shocker! Somebody died. Yeah, no, that's what we do. That's what we do. All of us,
That's right.
we're all in line. Congratulations, you spoiled it for yourself, nurse. Hooray! It goes and it just says like things start here and this is when things happen. It's like you're not really preventing yourself from it doesn't do good
No.
to talk about them in the sense like of like hearsay, like, oh, well, I heard Walter White gets a cat in season 6. It's like, okay, well, we all know he never got a cat and then he ended up just doing what he did.
True.
It's like Sting writing music for Emperor's New Groove, like he was just writing music for characters that didn't even exist. I learned that one yesterday. That was an interesting one.
What? Well, I was like, that's really out of like pocket. Wait, that's real?
Yeah. The Emperor's New Groove was just apparently an absolute nightmare production hell thing. I watched an old Ed's World, one of the old Ed's World guys did a little thing about it because I love that movie. I think it's a great movie.
I want to watch it again. It's been
Did
a while.
did you know there wasn't a script? They didn't have a script.
Cusco. Cusco's poison.
We about to go off a waterfall? Yep. Big Jagger Sharp Rocks at the bottom? Yep. Bring it on.
Bring it on. Wow. It's been a
So
minute.
good. I know. Every time I want to watch it, I don't know where to find it because I'll never support Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN, Time Warner, PepsiCo, Viacom, whatever.
You gotta get it on one of them VHS tapes.
Oh, dude, I went to an antique shop the other day with the lady, and oh my goodness, holy cow! Just holding one of those VHS tapes and opening it, the
I
crack
can
in the
hear
spine
it.
of it. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
hear it. You can smell it.
I know exactly what a VHS sounds like when you shake it. I know exactly like that. Same
Yeah.
thing with Betamax as well. Same thing with like 8 deck or oh
I didn't know
that
that much because I'm not that old. I'm not that old, dude. My camera makes me look
I'll be
like I'm balding, but
Oh, you're not balding. You're just bald.
Exactly. We're all naked under these clothes. Who cares?
Well, man, you're doing better than me, that's for sure. Hey,
It's like Wayne Dyer once said. He said, my question about hair is never, what makes it fall out. It's, what held it in yesterday? Like, what changed?
oh, before we wind down, let me finish this last little bit.
Go for it.
ChatGPT was actually making some really solid points here. I know, like I said, I won't give ChatGPT as much credit for when we are investing our time into the New Testament, but for now, since we're still in the Old Testament, I think that's where it'll probably shine the best.
Hey, I
Uh,
just want perspective too. So, I mean, if a
yeah.
robot's gonna be able to
So
actually
this is let me
accumulate.
read this real fast. This is the question that I had was um I gave both verse 15 and 16 of chapter 4. I copied and pasted it and just said elaborate please. And it said here's a clear detailed breakdown. Um leave the stump. Nevertheless, leave the stump of his roots in the earth. Cutting down a tree normally destroys it. Leaving the stump and roots means Nebuchadnezzar would lose his power, but the kingdom would not be permanently destroyed. His authority would be preserved for later restoration. And that is God's mercy, judgment with a promise of return. Uh, all right, and then number two, even with a band of iron and brass, this is symbolic. Scholars understand that the metal band in two main ways: restraint, containment, or preservation. The iron and bronze bands top a stump from splitting. There we go. That's what I was visualizing. The band itself is for preservation. From was my understanding of what those bands were for, to keep the root or to keep the stump from splitting and deteriorating further.
Hmm.
Um, Nebuchadnezzar's condition would be restricted or controlled. God would limit the judgment to not allow total collapse. So there's the way I visualize that is the memory and the experience of what Nebuchadnezzar's rule was will be utilized in other um, further kingdoms later based on what King Nebuchadnezzar did. Like a lot of it's still that information that's being used, but in a different way. Similar to how states, or similar to how we established our own country with how our states were divvied out and how states were established and things were based on past experiences. So like what we could kind of look at, um, you know how I'm trying to give a good example, but like one of our states that was like much bigger, that was split into North and South, or North Virginia, or North Virginia, West
North
Virginia.
Virginia,
No,
country
I was it was North Carolina,
mountains.
North Carolina, South Carolina. It at one point was just Carolina, right? The Carolinas, just Carolina.
Like
So
Florida was the whole, or what? Louisiana was the whole purchase.
I guess I can't
It
remember.
was like the Louisiana territory or something.
But
Blindingly,
what I'm getting at
stupidly.
is it's kind of like
On the history
the
wheel.
stuff that grows on top of the trunk afterwards, like the trees
Yeah,
that could
yeah. The
potentially
dew that brings just like stuff back, right?
it
Because you have
will
to have the water.
enable stability and growth. It's not death, barren, dry, unsalvageable. Like this is it exists. It was there. It's recognized,
It
but we
should
move
be
on.
kept because it was founded. Well, I guess we don't know if it was founded on the kingdom of God, but I mean, he did come around to God, and then he's making his kingdom around it, and he's doing better to do that. So, that
Right.
is,
There's a
it's worth
clear
keeping the trunk that's banded for that.
right. There's a clear. It was almost divine. There was some form of divine intervention, or like a divine involvement. Therefore, it's valuable for that alone.
This is
Um,
why I say things about the materials and metals and stuff, because band of iron and brass. The statue mentions I think the statue actually calls it bronze. They call it bronze in one of the other ones. Bronze, brass. They're obviously not the same thing, but it does say that the belly and the thighs were made of the bronze or brass, but the legs were made of iron. So now it's saying, even with a band of iron and brass, one of which is an inferior metal. So I guess it doesn't matter if it's an inferior metal or the mix of metal of iron and brass. Because you said something about divine intervention, so that got me thinking like, but they're typically, if I could go back on this one, iron and brass are typically like man-made things, like not necessarily divine intervention, but it is the case where it's like the kingdom of God is the tree, and then the man put the ring around the thing to preserve the kingdom of God, or the image of the principle of founding the kingdom on God. Okay, that makes sense. I got you. I got it. Just had to say the words out loud, that's all.
Yeah, gotta visualize it. I kind of visualize things a little differently than that, but as far as just trying to digest the information,
When someone says iron and brass, I typically say, oh yeah, the shitty metals, it's not gold or silver. But in the case of the Bible, just because this book here, again, it's pointing out that there is an actual difference here between iron. So it's like you have the belly of bronze in this picture. Okay, well, and then this one, you're also talking about the legs of feet in iron. So they're referencing different parts of the statue, which do symbolize different things. So if there are two different metals mentioned in one breath, it's because it's known that they are of different qualities, not because they are not. If it wanted to just say brass, it would have done that. Or if it wanted to just say with bands of metal, it would have said that. Yeah.
Right. So the qualities do matter.
That's another pitfall that I used to fall into, but now I'm using that to my advantage. It's like, hey, I'm not the guy that wrote this, so let's break down every word, right?
You also got to understand the use case, not just the quality. As much as you say that gold is an important metal,
but I wouldn't have even brought up that those two things were even mentioned unless something else that was describing scripture mentioned it first. I didn't know that was the thing to even bring up.
Would you wear iron armor or gold armor? Gold armor or iron armor?
The question is more, would you rather wear, bronze or iron? And that's, I think, where, again, if this is saying bronze is it's weird because it describes like the more valuable metals as sort of like more intelligent metals, or more like just like stronger in the sense of like spiritually,
varies,
but the use case, yeah, like the physical, like we all know that gold is not the strongest metal of any of those listed.
But it has some of the highest value for some reason.
So when it says, you have a belly of thighs of bronze in the one side, and then there's legs of iron and feet in iron, I'm not the guy that made the distinction between them, even though I do know there's one. I could be pedantic and say the decree of the watchers versus, the decree of the watchers. I could be pedantic. I'm not going to do that. But in the case of iron and brass, yeah, because some other scholar did mention that there is a difference in just even in the same book, just a different chapter. Now I have to say also, well, let me put that qualifier back into this. Like if it didn't say the tender grass of the field, if it said just the grass of the field, I wouldn't necessarily ask if it was tender or not. Like the same way if this said metals, I wouldn't. If it just said iron, I wouldn't say like, well, what about other metals? But if it did say metals, someone has mentioned there are different metals and different qualities and representative of different things. So like, okay, yep. Just like these words, you can cut them infinitely down the middle.
This is so weird, dude. I don't. This is so weird. There's something about this last bit of chapter 4 that just kind of, or this part of chapter 4, the last bit of our study here, that I'm probably gonna have to talk to my dad about later today.
I hope so. I really do, because like I want to know, like, let me actually, I'm gonna type out some of these questions in Discord, because like I'm not gonna take a picture of this random shit scrap paper.
Sure.
What's the comparison of the tree to the statue, even though we know we kind of think we know what we're speculating. So what's the comparison of the tree to the statue?
There is no comparison. We're the comparison.
Okay, well, maybe I'm just spitballing. Do the metals
Yeah.
banding the tree mean more than... Does it mean anything? Because I'm stuck. I'm not really stuck on anything per se. I don't know. Yeah, ask your dad about whatever you want to ask him, I guess, because maybe it's just because it's the end and I'm like, oh, this is where all the thoughts like hit the fucking brake check place on the highway, you know?
Yeah. There's just a lot. It's very dense, information dense. And trying to rationalize it. And that's why this chapter alone was split into two as well.
Yeah, it's a good thing he did because what, we're 2 hours into this already or something?
Has it really been 2 hours?
It's been 2 hours,
Holy
yeah. I started,
cow.
maybe like 1:45. But yeah, that's why we're not going to be able to. Like, I love doing these, and I'm
The
totally
summary,
cool keeping them 2 hours ish.
let me get to the summary here then, because there's the uh, let his portion be with the beasts, which is ChatGPT saying Nebuchadnezzar will live like a wild animal, eat grass, be cut off from human contact, lose normal human behavior. This describes a mental collapse, something that we now call bonethropy, which is believing oneself to be an ox. So we are literally, we have furries in our community. No, okay, well, let's move on from that. Daniel does not diagnose it, but the behavior is animal-like. So that's what I'm confused about. Like, let me get to the
So you're
point here.
confused about an interpretation of something that I'm not even, like, I don't even know where that's coming from other than
Dude,
you just reading it.
Nebuchadnezzar is straight up saying all of these things, but he doesn't know what they mean. He cannot grasp what they mean, which is another testament to what his decline. He's showing. He's announcing to everyone that can understand him this whole chapter about how he is essentially having to strip the tree of the roots and the meats and talking about this tree when in fact he's talking about himself. Does he know that he's talking about himself at this point? Or does he understand or grasp the concept of him being represented as like him and all of the accomplishments, or him and his establishment of his kingdom represented as this tree? Does he know that dream is what that is? And is he telling everyone this? What is his intention of announcing to the world for all that can hear him that he is going to eventually live
Hey,
like a wild
yeah.
animal, lose normal behavior? I'm very curious. Like, there's context here that I am
Hey, yeah, that's a good point.
okay.
No, I'm serious. No, that's a good point. Like, why is he saying all this stuff?
Well, it says, "Let his heart be changed from a man's, losing his human reasoning, his ability to think as a king or even as a normal person. Let a beast's heart be given unto him." This
Yeah, but that's
symbolizes
probably
animal
reading into it
instincts.
with the context of the rest of the chapter, in which case I don't have that context of the rest of the chapter because
No,
we
it
haven't.
stops. It stops here. The
Okay.
summary is the stump equals kingdom preserved. The beast mind equals his insanity. The 7 times equals the duration of his judgment, and the dew of the grass is like the life of an. This is, I don't believe this. This is weird. Life as an outcast animal is the dew and grass.
I don't
I
understand. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, you can talk to your dad about that,
I'm
but that doesn't
yeah.
sound
I'm
like
gonna
anything.
yeah.
That sounds like
This
just
is
gibberish
this
BS
seems like
secular
this
shit.
sounds like AI slop.
Yeah, that just sounds like some secular. But oh, we're all one from the same. We're same. Zoroaster or whatever. No.
Sure. It's
Yeah, that sounded silly. But I think
a very interesting.
if the
regardless.
context was that he was just mentally deteriorating and an outcast and all of that happened, I would have asked if that what was happening, because that's not even remotely in here at all.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
he's
well,
losing his mind, but so he's okay.
at what level is he aware? Where is his mind in regards to the
Oh
understanding
yeah, I don't know.
of
Yeah, I don't know.
context to the visions that he is having?
I actually have no idea, because you can say to some degree he's aware enough that he acknowledges that the tree is God, or he's alluding
He's
to the
aware
tree.
enough that
Hold on,
Daniel
he's
guessed his dream. Like
oh
that
yeah,
was
he's making a fucking
that's
truth
about
about
the
it. Yeah,
level of understanding.
he's tweeting
that
about
he
it
could-
after he has got it fact checked. So I mean, he is aware. But if he's understanding that the tree is God, he has done something as a man with which again the metals, the iron, the brass, whatever they are actually, the attempt to keep the trunk from splitting at the base is man's attempt to keep the presence of to keep the thing from falling apart. So if you want to make an argument he's falling apart as a king mentally, I get it. I guess I could see that. The tree's the fucking brain stem and stuff, and it's starting to split, and the brain's going to come out. But then you keep it together, you strangle it like a duck.
Yeah.
And that's Daniel 4. No,
We'll
I
have
think
to
I think it makes.
do
I
a
think that
recap
makes some
about
sense.
this later.
Say
But
what?
once I'm gonna talk to my dad about this here in a little bit.
Yeah,
Actually, I
no,
might
shoot
him
me a message about
now,
it and
just
stuff.
while are you gonna be around later this afternoon? Like a couple
Shoot
hours?
me. Like I'll be down to text and stuff. Coming back to sit down in a chair for a couple hours, no smoke break, gotta pee, just kind of getting used to the body. I probably should go to grocery shop and stuff, but I will definitely please just text me. I'm down to text back about stuff, and I'm gonna probably do stuff kind of like I was doing right before I started. I'm gonna make stuff like that GIF to just bounce around and just throw up on screen and stuff.
I'm
This was really
shooting
awesome.
up. This was nice. And if you come across any more questions or have any more questions, please just reach out. And just as another disclaimer for those that are watching here today or that are watching the video later on, much later, we're all bouncing ideas off each other. None of this is based on. This is all coming from our own brain think, our own.
If you have anything that you like to say about things you're passionate about, then it will sound very similar to the way we talk about the Word of God and the truth that is the Bible.
Don't assume that our current interpretation, which is a word I don't like to use with the Bible, don't let our way of comprehending the Bible be don't assume that we believe that entirely. We're spitballing ideas.
Basically, just enjoy watching two animals in a classroom learn without a teacher.
Yeah,
'Cause that's what we're
it's
gonna
a
do.
thought experiment. It's just thinking experiments. We're testing theories. We're bouncing ideas.
If anyone
We're
has
not-
ever asked questions and had deeper, need to understand things, then you'll find yourself well at home here at the nurse's station, I promise you. But also, fuck your feelings. We're trying to figure shit out and learn the truth too. So
True.
we're gonna have a really good time together, and we're gonna laugh a lot, and we're gonna learn a lot. I think it'll be real fun. I think it will be. So it's a long drive forward, I'm just making sure everybody's aware there's gonna be some farts in the car.
I'm gonna roll down that window.
You gotta. Doesn't mean the sun's not shining, but we gotta roll down that window, deal with a little bit of noise. Thank you everybody for watching the Nurse's Station. I'm Nurse. This has been Sauce. Peace.
And that's what's up.